And I'll never forget, we were talking about randomization and trying to figure out like the best way to represent it, different ways to think about it. I think this was right around, Tim, when we were trying to do a talk around like blocking, randomization with blocking and things. And so we could not figure out how to make it friendly to people who had maybe not thought about it as in-depth as we were at that moment. We were like way too in the weeds. And I remember slacking Tim like the next morning, like right at the beginning of work, and saying, so I had a thought.
It was the next morning because it was a glass of wine sitting on your couch thought, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. I was
okay.
like, maybe I even slacked you that night and was like, look at this in the morning. But I was like, I just was having a glass of wine and it came to me. I was like, I feel like a good way to explain randomization would be through colors. And so I tell him how, like, what if each color represented a characteristic, and when you randomize the population, you could see how the colors were split between test and variation, and what if those colors were blended to show like a group color, and then you could see that like the color comes out really close because it's randomized across the characterization. So Tim, I knew he couldn't resist, and that's why I told him, because I was like, that's about as far as I can take it. Tim made a whole Shiny app to let you like choose the size of your sample, to choose how many characteristics, to choose like the predictiveness of those characteristics on your outcome, the mean, like all these things. And then you could actually run a simulation and see the colors blended. And then you could like flip on and off blocking.